I have found a way that will allow you to make money online with very little knowledge and very minimal work.
I know absolutely nothing about Forex day trading, but I've luckily met this internet stranger who claims he's found the secret to just printing money online. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, follow through with this guy's claims so you don't have to. Okay, so a couple of hours and we've literally gotten our first trade already. This is what it looks like. I have no idea what any of this means, but I'm just going to follow through with his instructions now and then we'll figure it out later. Okay, so the trade is in. Money is fluctuating all over the gaff. I have absolutely no idea where this goes or what this even does. But we'll just wait and see if we end up profiting. Okay, I just got a notification on my phone. I haven't even opened it yet. You can see here that we have actually made a profit of 20 pips. Don't know what 20 pips is, but we definitely made a profit. We made 20 quid from that trade. That was like a couple of hours ago. I've done nothing and we're 20 quid up already. I just love testing ways to make money online, but this one here seems a little bit close to my heart because I think we've all seen these Forex day trading ads online and I haven't seen a whole lot of people actually do them. We have 60 days of free access to this guy's trades and I'm just going to be copying every single one of the trades that this guy makes, as well as learning as much as I can about Forex to just ultimately determine whether Forex trading is actually a viable way to make some life-changing income once and for all. So how do we know whether we've made money or not? Well, it either shows up blue or red. Blue is profit, red is loss, and this one's blue. So let's hope we see many more blues to come. Like, this is bloody hilarious. Like, he says here in his messages that this is not financial advice. Like, what? Of course it's financial. I give up. Right, we have several trades done at this stage and there's definitely a pattern emerging as to what is actually happening, and I'm starting to learn a little bit more about Forex in general. I never actually knew this, but Forex means foreign exchange, and the market is open 24 hours a day from Sunday to Friday. And when I say anything, I mean literally anything can affect the price of a currency. We are talking these tiny decimal percentages here. An announcement from a politician.
China.
A tweet from Elon Musk. Anything can change a currency price. And fundamentally, it's all about trying to predict what these price movements are going to be so you can try and buy low and sell high. Now, this is a little bit different to stock investing because instead of just investing in a currency, you're investing in a currency pair. So instead of investing in just a US dollar, you have to invest in the US dollar euro pair, or the US dollar Japanese yen pair, or the euro dollar... It's embarrassing that no other currencies came into my mind there. There's loads of other currencies. Say you buy the US dollar euro pair. What this effectively means is that you think that the US dollar will outpace or outperform the euro over a certain period of time. Instead, if you opted to sell the US dollar euro pair, you're going to think that the US dollar is going to drop in comparison to the euro over a specified period of time. God, a lot of people think that you can extrapolate patterns using indicators on the prices of all of the currencies to get a better idea of where they're going to go next. And according to some people, you can make a lot of money using this. And I'm going to be asking a real expert to give me his take on this in just a minute. But first, I am going to take to Instagram to ask some of my followers what they think about Forex trading. Hey guys, it's Darragh from Darragh_trading tips. And I've been a full-time trader for about a week now. And if you want to make life-changing returns and live a life like me, hit that link down below to win a load of cash and a free MacBook. I thought that would be funny. Okay, so surprisingly enough, things have actually lived up to the hype thus far. I don't have an exact percentage gain, but we're definitely making money. I see a lot more blues than I do reds here in some of my trades. Now, we will be keeping a very detailed log of all the trades, so we can get a graph at the very end to make a data-driven decision as to whether you should actually do this or not. But so far, like, we're making money. Just gotta get my graph out in the background. Perfect. There you go. Now, the broker I used did actually throw a bit of a spanner in the works because he said that if I lodge another $1,000 into my brokerage account in the next few days, then he'll double that money so I can trade with $2,000. Now, if you told me a few days ago that I was going to put another $1,000 into this to trade, I would have politely told you to fuck off. But after the results that we've gotten in the last few days, I'm actually kind of tempted to do it. Now, specifically for this challenge, we are using the Meta4Trader app as the exchange where we're just buying and selling. So I'm going to pop up one of the signals that we got here, and you see we get a few different elements. We get the trading pair, the entry point, the stop loss, and the take profit. Now, what the fuck are they? Well, Let me just set this up because I'll need my hands. So take this for example. We're looking at the US dollar euro pair. Our entry point is where we are looking to buy this currency pair. Our take profit is the point at which the stock rises enough where it hits that point and we basically sell our stock and take our money. Thank you very much. Our stop loss, which is down here, is the point at which we say, oh no, this currency is going down more than we thought. Once it hits this point here, we mitigate our losses, we sell and we take the loss. The stop loss is here because if the stock goes all the way down here, we have some form of damage limitation. The take profit is here, so it forces ourselves to actually take profit at a point that we specified earlier in case it goes up and starts to come all the way down again. So that's all there. They're just lines. Cool. Now you might also see on the MetaTrader app that there's this thing called margin. So the margin isn't exactly a cost or a fee, but it's the portion of your account that you're willing to put at risk for the trade you're putting on. So if you have a high margin and you win a lot. But if you have a high margin and you lose, then you lose a lot. Our Forex trading guru told me to keep it around 0.1 the entire time. So that's what I'm going to do.
At this altitude, I can run flat out for a half mile.
It takes 500 milliseconds for you to click on your E-Trade and say, I want to buy the stock of Apple. And you got guys that have spent $250 million to straighten the lines between Chicago and New York so they could save 1.4 milliseconds. And they're going to trade hundreds, maybe thousands of times. They know you're going after Apple. They know what to do. They make money, little micro profits. One of the HFT groups was going to go public last year, so they had to do their filings. Do you know how many losing days they had in 4 years?
I do not.
1.
So that Tony Robbins clip that I listened to on my podcast is actually kind of spooked me quite a bit. If you think about it, I've come to realize that trading is a zero-sum game. So for there to be winners, there must also be losers. In the long term, how the hell are we supposed to compete with these guys that have spent almost $250 million in an attempt to save a fraction of a second when, you know, me and normal people won't spend $40 on an Uber to save 20 minutes? Never mind these guys online that are trying to bump up their status by claiming they're experts in Forex trading. Yeah, I just don't know. Now, while we all digest that pretty big pill, let's check out the Instagram results that we got from our poll. So we have had a whopping 500 people who saw the post. Only 6 people actually responded. Pretty intimate sample size. Anyway, people don't have a lot of good things to say. Poison, bleak, cynical, no word to describe it, mentally challenging. One comment I will definitely focus on is the one from Malone Financial. Dan is a good friend of mine. He's probably the most educated person I know on finance. He actually is a financial advisor. And he said that it is improbable. All I can say to my followers is that the results will show off. So we've just encountered our biggest loss yet in a single trade. We lost €44.32 in one trade. Now this might not sound like an awful lot, but it's, you know, a sizable enough portion of the portfolio I've left. And also one of the things that has really hit home in the past few days since starting this trial is people talk an awful lot about compounding gains. They don't talk about compounding losses. I'm not saying that we're like, you know, screwed or anything like that, but you know, when you lose 50% of your portfolio, you have to make 100% gain to get back to where you were. So if you start with $100, you lose 50% of that, you're down to $50. You now have to double $50 to get back to where you started. And that's one of the dangers I've started to see with Forex trading, is that though you can have a few wins and they can compound, if you have a few losses, they will also compound. And it's like digging yourself out of a bigger and bigger hole. It just gets very, very hard to get back to where you want to be after suffering some relatively, you know, hard trades. Okay, we're almost at the end of our trial right now, and we'll talk figures in just a second. But first, we need to talk about some truths. Now, I don't mean to pick on this guy specifically, right? There are, you know, hundreds of people doing the exact same thing as him and using the exact same business model. So I'm just using him as an example. He has 27,000 people following him on Instagram. On his Telegram Signals group, he has 2,000... Oh, I nearly had a stroke there. He has 2,740 people in the Signals chat. Now, assuming those numbers aren't bulked up for credibility, let's just be very conservative and say that 60% of the people in that group have been there for longer than a month and are paying 50 quid a month. That means this guy is taking in over £82,200 a month from this group alone. Now, this guy is in his early 20s. I'm sure he's a good guy. I mean, like, the man has built a heck of a business. But one thing I'd say is that, is the business more focused on marketing and getting people people to join the Telegram group, or is it so you can actually get decent Forex trades that will allow you to get a small advantage over other people? I don't have an answer to that. Just a question to pose. I mean, look, absolutely zero offense, but like, you know, a guy in a tank top, probably in like Costa Rica or something like that, you know, making his daily trades, do you really think he's going to beat the guys who are spending $250 million on increasing the speed of a transaction by a fraction of a second? I don't know. Look, maybe I'm missing something here, but like, this whole industry is giving me serious Andrew Tate vibes. And the performance does too. And if I were to do this whole thing again, I would be getting onto the guy who's running the Forex trading group. I would ask him for his company name. I'd search him on Company's House or whatever your country's company database is, and actually take a look at some of his returns and his financials. Get a glimpse to see as to whether they're actually living the lifestyle they claim they are, or are they just living up, you know, in the top right bedroom of their mom and dad's house. Not that it's bad to live with your mom and dad. I did it only up to a couple of years ago, but it does become a problem when you start selling something different and getting other people to put their money in their pocket for a product that is just, you know, more or less completely out of their control, and selling them unrealistic results. Okay, rant over, let's get to the results. So in the past 29 days, we have made 39 trades. Out of those 39 trades, we have had 15 wins and 24 losses. Now, on paper, this actually doesn't sound like the worst performance ever when you look purely at just the number of wins and the number of losses you had. But when we calculate our percentage loss, which includes the fees that we pay to make the trades themselves, we have suffered a 98.94% loss. So we had $3.68 left in our account. What we're going to do here is just live do one last single trade to see, you know, if we can salvage anything from this. So here we go. Okay, so while we let that run its course, it's important to say that, you know, you aren't wealthy until you have something money can't buy. And that's a lesson that I'm never going to do this again. But not unless this video gets like, you know, 1 million views or something. Then I'll definitely do it again. We'll see you in the next one. So long.